Hello, welcome to Country Bumpkin Home Cooked Meals, where we practice cooking just about everything from scratch. Just about. Listen, today I'm gonna be canning some chicken breast, raw packing it. And what I'm doing is 8-ounce jars. 8 ounces, they feed one person. Okay. Usually, if I do the ones that I want to feed at least 2, I do the 12 ounces. But this one, I want to do the 8 ounces because now I do meal prep. I do meal prep for some people, and I want to make it easy for, people that just want, if they want to order some things just for lunch or just for dinner, come home, something that they can just pop open and warm up. Because when you can it, it's already cooked, it's already done. And that's what I love about canning. Those days I really don't feel like being in the kitchen all day, which that's what I do every day because I cook. I don't mind it, but sometimes you feel like not cooking. And when I feel like that, I just pop open some broccoli or I pop open some greens for the day. I will do some potatoes and some chicken or whatever meat, fish, whatever I can. So today, just a quick thing. Let me turn the camera and I will show you guys. Boop. Let's see here. Exactly what we'll be doing here today. Okay, I think that's good enough. I think that's good enough right there. Alright. So this, I got my jars, I got my lids. Everything is cleaned and dried already. This is just it's a funnel. It's a canning funnel that you take and when you're putting your meat down up in there, your food down up in there, you use your funnel. Or I just like to use it when I'm doing my seasoning so that I don't get the seasoning all over the jar. Pretty much. But, we'll see. This is what you use. This is the thing you use to just, pick up it's tongs that you use to pick up the jar, put it in the canner, remove it from the canner, magnet for the top. You guys will see that in a second. And this is a debubbler. I just use that to kind of make sure there's no air. Because when you put the water down in the jars, you don't want no air. Today I'm actually doing something different. Now for you, if you've never canned and you're not comfortable with it, you just follow the guidelines, You can follow any of these videos or you can follow the book. I would recommend that you do get the book, when you first start until you get comfortable. I don't use the book anymore because I've been canning for a while now. So I don't use the book. I'll use the book if I end up canning something that I haven't canned yet and that's something I'm not familiar with. But today I'm about to try something different. Because these are 8-ounce jars, I'm only going to use the 1/4 for the canning salt. And I'm going to put it in my jars first. Usually I put it in last. But what I learned when I'm canning anything with the 8-ounce jars, sometimes the stuff is it just be all the way to the top, and I just don't like that. I don't like it when the seasoning is all the way at the top. So I'll do it this way and put all of the seasoning at the bottom. And I will show you. And this one I'll do it all the way and just show you, and then I did that one. I messed up that one. So this one, what I will do is I'm going to wash the salt out because that'd be way too much salt. One thing you don't want to do is you don't want to have too much salt. Because the thing about this, you will taste the seasoning. When you're canning your food, you'll taste the seasoning. But what I'm doing different today is I want to try some garlic powder. So I want, it's just, I play around with this stuff. It's my family, so I can do it. With any meals, that outside of the house, unless I got it approved through the state or whatever, I wouldn't mess with it. But this is for my household and my family. And so far, everything that I've tried for us, it works out fine. We've never, ever, not one time got sick. I never got food poisoning, period, ever in life. Thank you, Lord. I don't take it for granted. One of my sisters ended up getting sick from some food one time, and they put her in the hospital. And it's not a good sight to see anybody, that suffer from food poisoning. It's not a pretty sight. So this time I want to try this. And what I'll do after I can it and we cook it up, I always test new things out, myself and my husband, before I give it to the kids. So far my children, they love it all. My youngest girl, the end of the year, should be actually moving into her house. She's buying her house this in December, and she'll be moving in. And she want me to start canning her food now. Majority of her meat. So I got my chicken here, and it's already ready to be dropped in. Oop. And what I did is I just sliced it into pieces. So I'm not sure exactly how many will fit in each one, but you know, you just chop them. Some people chop them into squares. You can chop them however you want to chop them. That down up in there. And like I said, this 8 ounces is usually enough just to feed one. If I'm cooking something or want to warm something up for my husband and I usually do a 12-ounce canning jar, which I do both. But with this meal plan prep, this is really, really nice. I actually, one of my brothers, I do a meal plan for him, but I did it different a couple of weeks ago. So when I do his next ones, I'm going to do it this one and see if he like it. See which way he liked better. But I like it. It's really nice. Oops. Put that down up in there. Down. Put that down up in there. Down up in there. Because remember, we still got the debubbler, so we got to take that little wand and stick it down up in there and make sure there's no bubbles. You don't want bubbles. If you have trapped bubbles down up in there, them bubbles is air. Air kills your food. Air kills your food. No air preserves your food. The heat from the canner, it kills botulism and it kills bacteria. It kills it. So you take it, and I did not count these this time. I don't remember how many this was. How many pieces of chicken. But I usually, when I go to, when I shop for the month, I always get a case of chicken, and you know, majority of it goes to the business, and some of it I always can some for the house. Some for the month and some for the future, because anything can happen. And if anything happens, you never want to be caught where you can't feed your family or you can't feed your grandbabies. You know, I just want to make sure that if my children, I teach them the same stuff. If they decide they don't want to listen, and you know, something happens, some calamity happened, and they don't listen, I don't want them to have to worry about food. I don't want them to have to worry about food. So you take this little thing, the little debubbler, move that phone out the way, and just stick it down up in there. You want to try to release all of the water that's down up in there. I mean, all of the air. Any air. Push that thing around so you can release that air. And this is warm water. I already have my water cooking on the stove in my canner. Get that air up out of there. I made a mistake last night, you guys. What I did last night, I went in the room. Usually when I go to relax, I relax after I'm done with all of my day's chores. And last night, I was done with all of my chores, but I was canning zucchini yesterday. And went in a room and I shut my mind down, because that's usually what I do when I go in a room. I shut my mind down because I'm done for the day. And I forgot that I was canning. I forgot that I was canning, and to God be the glory, my little son, the little one, he was still up moving around, and he came in there, I'm in the tub, he said, Mom, can I turn off the canner? I said, yeah, turn it off. It was about an hour past the processing time. So, I went on in and removed those items, put in my last batch because I didn't want to go to bed leaving any of it. And, I didn't want to do it tomorrow. I wanted to be done with all of the zucchini yesterday. And guess what I did? I cannot believe it. I went in the room and I forgot again. I forgot that I was canning. Since I've been canning, that has never, ever, 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 ever happened to me. I've never forgot. Ever. And this time I went to sleep. Everybody in the household sleep. And to God be the glory, in the middle of the night. Now this time, about 2 hours went by. Oh, I gotta wipe that one, make sure. You still just wipe it just to make sure there's no residue around the rim. Because anything that's on it can stop the seal. And you don't want that seal to, you don't want nothing interfering with that seal. And when you put your top on, don't put your top on so tight. Just twist it, just twist it on a natural little twist on. Pop that baby on there. And pop them in the canner. Hold on, baby. See, that one still got some little air bubble. And the water, what you want to do, you want to take the water and put it to where it's like, this one got a little bit too much. An inch below the top line. An inch below the top line. Now what you want to do, something that's very important, you have to Google your area and find out how far above sea level you are. Because according to where you located at, it varies. The processing time is going to vary depending on where you live. Like where I live, I'm out here in Indiana. I have to process this for 75 minutes. It tells you your processing time, and it tells you what weight you have to put on top of your food. And all of that, the higher, like you see that fat? Okay, there you go. It went down. It went in. The higher you are above sea level, the longer it takes for you to process your food. That's why it's so important. The higher you are above sea level, it determines the weight you're going to put on your canner and how long you're going to process your food. Okay? So for where I'm located at, it takes 75 minutes to do this meat here. Not everything, and everything processes at a different time. So, but you get your canning book. Get a canning book and follow the instructions for your area until you get real good with it. And then you can step out and just be comfortable to try different things. Because, when you're looking at YouTube, you're going to hear some people say, you're not supposed to do this, or you can do this, But a lot of things have changed since the beginning of time when canning first started. So, like I saw one lady, I'll tell you something, I haven't canned yet, but I am going to can because I believe her. She canned cheese. I can't remember her name, but I will go back and I'm going to find a video. And when I do it, I'm going to give her name so that I can give her props. I'm going to give her a shout out because I'm going to try it. I want to try it. I believe it works. And that is one of my weaknesses. Cheese is one of my weaknesses. And see this one? did this one. This one is kind of high. The meat is kind of high, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. I did a couple of things that was like that, and it can's fine with no problem. With no problem. Sometimes if you can, when you can something and a little bit is left hanging out, it's okay. Once you open your canning jars, as long as you don't see any mildew and as long as you don't smell anything negative, your food is fine. Your food is fine. It's fine. As long as there's no mildew and as long as you don't smell anything that says, hey, this is rotten. Because it's going to smell rotten. It'll give itself away. You know, if it busts open. Sometimes they do bust open. And if they do, you'll see it. You'll know. It's not going to be no question about it. And it don't matter. I haven't tried it yet. I've only been canning for 2 years. So I've never tried it yet for a whole year. But I've seen other videos where people, you know, they'll say, well, it'll last, you know, a year or whatever. I'm trying to hold this and fix this thing. You know. What I do understand since I've been doing this is as long as don't no air hit this, these babies are some good. Don't let no air hit it. Take it, store it, put it in a very dark spot, a dark, cool place. And it'll last. It'll last. The longest, let me see. I have one here that I haven't opened yet. I think this is probably one of the longest ones I've kept. These two. And I brought them out because I plan on trying them soon. These are beets. I canned these August 24th, 2019. They're beets. And I canned them. They still look good. I'm going to pop these babies open and I'm cooking them tomorrow for my lunch. So that'll be the longest thing I've personally tried. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow. But that's it. Just that, it's that simple. It's that easy. I promise you, if you never canned before, when you start, you will love this. You will love this. And it's just easy. It's easy to store your food away that way. You ever seen movies and you've seen people, you know, running and there's a house right there, old abandoned house in the woods. And once they get there, they find some cellar that's full of food. This what they be saying. Stuff like this. Oh my gosh, because I remember I used to wonder, like, how is that still some good? It's got dust on it and they wiping dust off of it. And that's why, because the way it was preserved, there was no expiration date for it. As long as don't no air hit it, those babies are some good. Those puppies are good, okay? All right, thank you. Hey, do me a favor. Push that button, subscribe. Subscribe and come on and join my team and leave a comment, like, so I can come and join your team. You try my recipes and I'll try yours. You learn from me, I learn from you. Let's glean. Iron sharpens iron. God bless you. I'm Lindoria. Until next time, peace out.